Hi, today we're going to talk about where does BPD come from, Chapter 2. And I'm just going to go through the workbook as I need to do anyway, and I'll read it aloud, read my answers, and hopefully it can help somebody. So here we go. Chapter 2. Where does BPD come from? This chapter offers insights into the various causes or roots of BPD, including genetic factors, brain differences, psychological and social influences, and early experiences. The exercise I included will help you understand your own history as well as the history of those in your life, who may also exhibit BPD symptoms. The roots of BPD. It's common for people with a BPD diagnosis to look inward with a sense of self-blame, self-hate, confusion, and conflict. You may feel as though you're broken or cursed. You may also believe that this disorder is an inescapable result of who you are and what you've experienced. Unfortunately, these beliefs and feelings keep BPD in place, leaving you feeling alone, ashamed, and tangled up in the disorder. BPD is the most researched and treated personality disorder in psychology, yet its causes are neither simple nor certain. There is no single best explanation as to why you display the symptoms of BPD and have the difficulties you do, but it might be helpful for you to explore the areas, genetic, psychological, and social influences, and brain functioning that have the greatest influence on the development of BPD. Genetics. Research indicates that 37 to 69% of BPD diagnoses are related to genetic inheritance. Individuals who have a first-degree relative with a BPD diagnosis are 5 times more likely to be diagnosed themselves than those who don't have such a relative. The BPD symptoms, impulsivity, anxiousness, difficulty controlling mood, and problems with interpersonal relationships one displays tend to have a strong family link. For example, if your mom had a tendency to be impulsive, you might as well. In short, if a close relative has BPD, you're more likely to also display BPD symptoms or to be diagnosed. But keep in mind that we're not simply an expression of our genetics. Psychological and social influences. Many individuals who have been diagnosed with BPD experience traumatic life events during childhood, such as abuse or abandonment. Specifically, 36.5 to 67% of people diagnosed with BPD experience sexual abuse. But neglect, childhood adversity, caregivers with alcohol and drug abuse issues, chaotic family life, disrupted attachments, having lots of different caregivers or unreliable caregivers, and adults who modeled poor emotional control have also been linked to the development of BPD. It's important to note that not everyone who has experienced traumatic life events develops BPD, and not everyone with BPD has experienced them. It's also worth noting that there's a correlation between the severity of abuse, the age it first began, the number of instances of abuse, and the type of abuse, such as sexual, emotional, physical, or psychological, in the future development of BPD. Psychological and social influences together determined your early experiences, how often they occurred, how many you experienced, how severe they were, and at what age they happened, can all influence the development of BPD. Although many individuals who develop BPD followed a similar pattern or sequence of early experiences, there is no single route to a BPD diagnosis. That said, recognizing a common or influential set of experiences can help you better understand your BPD as you continue on this journey. In her book, Interpersonal Diagnosis and Treatment of Personality Disorders, 1996, Lorna Smith Benjamin identifies a sequence of early experiences that contributes to the development of BPD. If one, two, or even all of these early life experiences happened for you, it doesn't mean that you'll absolutely develop BPD, but you are more likely to exhibit similar beliefs, behaviors, and patterns of individuals with BPD. How you thought about and reacted to yourself, others, and situations influenced how your brain developed and functions today. Let's now explore brain functioning, the last potential origin of BPD, and then we'll identify the roots of your BPD in the exercise that follows. And then we have this nice little arrow thing here, and I'll read this off to you, starting at the top. I will read that starting at the top. Chaos and crisis were common in the home growing up. When the home was calm, the child felt bored, empty, and spiritless. There were abuse and abandonment experiences that resulted in the child being left alone, without protection, companionship, or activities to build herself or himself up. The child was left alone for hours or days while the caregiver was out with a boyfriend or girlfriend or friends, or using drugs or alcohol, and not paying attention to the child and what he or she was doing. The child was seen as a defector when he or she tried to break out of the family system, receiving the message that remaining dependent on the family's sickness was best. Shared suffering earned love and respect, but caregivers expressed this love and respect as emotional, physical, and sexual abuse, and the child experienced hurt, pain, and neglect. When the child was sick enough, broken enough, and had suffered enough, the family would show love and concern. Since this is what the child really wanted, he or she learned to stay sick and miserable while growing into adulthood. As a result, the child learned to be manipulative and hurtful to self and others to get needs and wants, love and concern, met. Brain functioning. Research has shown that individuals with BPD have similar brain functioning. For people diagnosed with BPD, areas of the brain that impact their ability to control impulses and aggression, to accurately recognize emotional expressions in others, to calm down after getting excited or angry, or to reason through problems when agitated or angry, tend to show activity. These findings, that individuals with BPD have a brain that functions differently from those who do not have BPD, hasn't been attributed to just one cause. It's believed that the roots of genetics, psychological and social influences, and early experiences play a part in the development and functioning of your brain and how it and you act and react when you think about, evaluate, and perceive yourself, others, and situations. This connection is a good thing. If situations, experiences, actions, and reactions influenced how your brain developed and now operates, then you can change your brain functioning by doing things differently, such as employing new strategies to overcome your BPD. Roots and influences of your BPD. The roots that influence the development of your BPD are as individual as you are, and having insight into how your BPD may have developed can help you control it and grow beyond it. That's why we're now going to explore your roots using an exercise designed to help you determine what percentage of your BPD symptoms are related to genetics, psychological and social influences, and brain functioning. In the spaces below, identify family members and close relatives who appear to meet the criteria for BPD on the left, and then on the right describe their relationship issues, behaviors, and problems with mood and impulse control that are similar to yours. This can be difficult because you may not like these individuals very much. Maybe it hurts to associate yourself with them, to feel that your behavior or biology is similar to theirs. This process is important. It will help you recognize your roots and develop the insight and strength to overcome BPD. So it's worth doing. And I did do it, and I'm not going to share that part because it's not fair to other people in my family. But there were family members who definitely met the BPD criteria. Some of them are alive and some of them are no longer alive. So that was part 2. Not done with the chapter, but we're going to stop this video now. Thanks for watching, guys. And don't forget to come back for the next part.